It's time for the battle of the bad dads. Both are super powerful supervillains who can turn purple, or one is purple all the time. They both have fancy coats and black spiky hair. Both are also complete jerks to their sons who inherited their powers, and they both own gigantic corporations that mass-produce deadly robots. Honestly, the amount of connections between these two is pretty insane. It's Kazuya Mishima from Tekken versus Professor Venomous from OKKO Let's Be Heroes. Welcome to Season 3 of Versus Battle Cards, and according to the Discord poll, you guys believe Professor Venomous will win this one. And by a pretty huge amount too. You guys are on a roll with the prediction polls in Season 2. Let's see if you're just as good this time around. Welcome to Versus Battle Cards. It feels good to be back. Starting off with the Arsenal category, and Kazuya definitely takes this one. Venomous is no slouch either, but we'll get to him. Kazuya uses Mishima-style fighting karate, and he's very good with it, harnessing electricity and lightning with his ki to enhance his attacks. He can enhance them even further while in rage mode, which allows him to increase his strength based on the amount of damage he's taken. Or he could always get more power from his devil gene, which allows him to transform into a powerful demon form. According to Elisa in Tekken Blood Vengeance, the devil forms are a 10 times increase in power from their normal human forms. This will come up again, but aside from stat boosts, it also gives them a ton of abilities. Devil Gene users gain the power of flight, they can teleport, they have healing factors, they have telekinesis to push you away or choke you out, they can shoot lasers from their forehead, access tons of Devil Gene abilities without fully transforming, and can absorb the powers of others and add it to their own. There's a few other Devil Gene abilities that we haven't seen Kazuya use yet, like when his mother Kazumi used earthbending to move parts of a volcano around, or when his son Jin Kazama showed the ability to manipulate both fire and ice in the final battle of Tekken 6. But since the Devil Gene is a genetic thing, of course, it's not too unreasonable to assume that Kazuya would be able to do those things too. Moving on to Professor Venomous, and there's not much he can do in his base form. He's a pretty decent fighter, but doesn't use a specific trained style. He at the very least does still have some beakers and test tubes that he can toss for smoke screens and evasions. Things don't get real until he goes into a shadowy transformation where he becomes Shadowy Venomous. In this form, his attacks get a lot more vicious and unpredictable as he can even grow claws. He can fly, teleport, shapeshift to look like he's moving around like an actual shadow, fire ki blasts and harness electricity, and that's pretty much it. His son KO has shown the ability to negate and disable the powers of others, but it's unlikely that Venomous has this power himself. We never see him do it, and it's implied that he needs KO for it. Without a proper fighting style, no unique abilities in his base form, and no hacks like healing factors or power absorption, Kazuya wins the Arsenal category. Let's see what the YouTube predictions think though. Oh, we only have one. Oh well. Venomous tilts things in his favor when it comes to speed. Kazuya's pretty impressive too, but you'll see. So, on Kazuya's side, the fastest speed feat in Tekken is one of his own abilities, the forehead lasers that come from the Devil Gene. They can reach outer space in a near instant, they share several properties with actual real-life lasers, and have been calculated at light speed. And several characters in the series can outpace these things at point-blank range. Add on the Devil Gene multiplier as well, and there you go, 10 times faster than light. Venomous, on the other hand, is able to combat with foes whose attacks can reach the moon or even the sun in mere seconds. Already blowing Kazuya out of the water, but if you want a specific number for just how fast Venomous is, there's the fact he scales to KO and Enid, whose reaction timing is so good that they can pilot a space motorbike to another nebula in less than a minute. The nebula they went to is fictional, but using the Helix Nebula as a base, they must have been traveling over 200 million times faster than light. Strength gets pretty crazy for both of these series. On Tekken's side, even the fodder of the verse, the Jack robots, are able to completely destroy and shatter extinction-level multi-continent meteors comparable in size to the ones that killed the dinosaurs. Then at the top you've got characters like Jinpachi Mishima and Azazel, who are labeled as planetary threats and Kazuya no doubt scales to. However, for some odd reason, the Versus community as a whole never really accepted planet-level Tekken. Despite these statements consistently appearing over the past handful of games spanning across 15 plus years, while so many other verses are able to get away with planet level for having just a single statement. So, you want a visual planet level Tekken feat that's undeniable? Here you go, I found one, where Paul and Law, who Kazuya is no doubt superior to, are able to catch and deflect an even bigger meteor than the Jack one. Using Earth's own size, we can find that the size of the meteor is about 220 miles in diameter, over 36 times larger than the Jack meteor. Estimating its weight based on its size in comparison to the previous meteor, and in order for Paul and Law to throw this meteor out of view in a single second like they did, it'd require 20 zetatons of TNT, enough to destroy a small planet. Basically Omni-Man deflecting the Texas meteor on steroids. Add the 10 times Devil Gene multiplier on top of that, and you get 200 zetatons. Full on planet level, straight up. Now you may be saying, Leo, isn't this feat from a Japan exclusive pachinko machine? And yes it is, the same pachinko machine that has direct canon continuations to Tekken 7's character endings. That's right, Japan exclusive pachinko machines are canon. That's some Kingdom Hearts level nonsense right there. But whew, there we go. Anyways, Venomous ties this up. Venomous should be on par with other supervillains like Cosma, who's able to eat planets and survive being smacked with a moon. And in the finale, Venomous was just given a planet specifically for him to destroy for fun. And at first glance, he should be able to scale the TKO, who was able to destroy the sun at one point, but that was after TKO had absorbed power from the Glorb Tree. A point where Venomous was no match for him at all, so planet level Venomous should stay. Let's see what the Discord predictions think. Time for the bonus category, which is another tie. Kazuya is no doubt the most skilled fighter of the two. He's trained more, uses an actual fighting style, and has competed in multiple tournaments fighting a wide variety of foes. Venomous, however, is the more intelligent one. He's studied bioengineering, made several machines, and he's a master businessman. And both of them are tied in experience. At first glance, it seems like Kazuya should win experience because he's much older and should have been fighting much longer, right? Well, no. A good 20 years of Kazuya's life was spent unconscious in a volcano or in hiding. So, tied. And with everything in mind, the winner of this fight should be Professor Venomous. Kazuya has a lot of tricks and tools up his sleeves, and is way more skilled in combat than Professor Venomous. But Venomous is just way too fast, and with his superior intelligence, it's unlikely he'd fall for any of Kazuya's tricks. And even if he did, he rivals Kazuya in power, so he should be able to survive any of the few mistakes that he would end up making. The superior speed would also mean that Venomous would be able to outpace Kazuya's healing factor. There's just too many advantages in the Professor's favor, so he comes out on top. Let me know what you guys think though. What are your thoughts on this outcome, and thank you for predicting in this episode. Be sure to predict the next one with a comment down below, a comment in my Discord server, voting in the Discord poll, or making a video prediction. I'd really like to get back into the video predictions for this season because Season 2 was pretty lacking. I mean, it's a bit understandable considering the types of wacky and niche matches out there that I had. But this season, things should be a lot more balanced, making it easier. To prove it, let's talk about what's coming next time. It's the rematch of the century, the clash of the two doctors who use animals for their plans to take over the world. It's Dr. Eggman from Sonic the Hedgehog versus Dr. Neo Cortex from Crash Bandicoot.